Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
And today's show is brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 4 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
It is a Tasting Tales kind of Friday, and we have some Goodland extracts, cherry pie, high soda, which is a Delta 9 THC beverage, 10 milligrams of THC in this bad boy. It is a 12-ounce can, and we're going to be sampling this in just a bit. You looking forward to it, Pam?
So looking forward to not having a productive day.
Well, the last THC beverage we sampled was during the holidays. It was the baked gingerbread.
Yes.
And that was so good.
That one was so good.
Oh, it was so good. So good. It was.
And this is the same company?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Same company. So we'll get to all that in just a bit. But right now, let's take a look at some headlines for Friday, January 9th.
Lewiston's Ward 5 City Councilor Iman Osman has resigned. Osman is facing gun and theft charges and submitted his resignation less than 72 hours after being sworn into office. Osman's attorney still believes Osman had the right to serve on the council, but the personal toll on him and his family was becoming too much. City officials have not yet announced the next steps to fill the vacancy.
The St. Dominic Regional High School Board of Directors named Dr. Claude Barabee as head of school. Barabee is a 1984 graduate of St. Dom's. He earned a bachelor's degree from St. Anselm College, master's degrees from Northeastern University and the Naval War College, and his doctorate in history from the University of Leeds in England. He retired from the U.S. Navy last year.
Maine lawmakers are considering a bill that would shift to an electronic car inspection program. If the bill passes, Mainers would pay $20 for an inspection instead of $12.50. Supporters say it will better track inspections and curb fraudulent stickers. Opponents cite the lack of options.
Now it is time for the weather.
Rain or shine, it's all okay. Grab your uke and start the day. You don't need perfect skies above. Hey, just a song and a little love.
Cloudy today with a mixture of rain and snow in the early evening. We'll have a high of 42 and a low of 18.
Okay.
Cloudy tomorrow with a high of 42 and a low of 32. I'm not minding these 40s.
No.
Hey, just a
And
song
scattered
and
rain and snow
little
showers throughout the day on Sunday with
love.
highs in the 30s.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we sports it?
Let's sports.
All right. Sean Corrali tallied a goal and an assist, and Eunice Corpusalo stopped 28 shots to lead the Bruins over the Calgary Flames 4-1. Boston will host the New York Rangers tomorrow at 1 p.m.
The Celtics host the Toronto Raptors tonight at 7.
Brody Emond had a goal and 2 assists, and goalie Josef Simon registered 40 saves to lead the NA3 Nordiques over Norwich Sea Captains 3-2.
The Maine Nordiques host the New Jersey Titans tonight at 7:30 and tomorrow at 7 at Norway Savings Bank Arena in Auburn.
The Lewiston Maniacs host Universal Academy tonight at 7:30 at the Colisee.
Bates College men's basketball will visit Amherst tonight at 7.
Central Maine Community College men's and women's basketball will visit UMaine Fort Kent tonight and tomorrow.
And the Patriots host the San Diego Chargers in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. Kickoff is Sunday at 8 p.m.
So I will fall asleep.
Whew, it's gonna be a rough Monday morning for a lot of people in New England.
Lots of sportsing going on this weekend.
Yes, a whole lot of it. That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it's time for the podcast segment that is swimming the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for January the 9th, shall we?
Yeah.
It's too bad Sarah's not here because her favorite musician of all time
Dave Matthews.
is celebrating a birthday today.
She's not alone in that, I don't think.
No, I think a lot of people like
Yes.
Dave Matthews.
Yes.
He is 59 years old today. I didn't know this, but Dave Matthews was born in Johannesburg, South Africa.
I also did not know that.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things, when people are born in one state and then like at 6 months old, they move to another place? Is that what happened here? Did he grow up there?
According to his wiki, he was born in South Africa and moved frequently between South Africa and the United Kingdom and the United States while growing up. He started playing acoustic guitar at the age of 9, and that worked out pretty well for him.
I think so.
Yeah. Actor David Costable is 59 years old today. Not a household name, but if you're a fan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, he played Gail Bedecker, and he met a grisly demise in Breaking Bad. Spoiler alert. How about this? Guitarist Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin is 82 years old today.
82.
Began his career as a studio session musician in the 60s. He was a member of the Yardbirds from 66 to 68. And when the Yardbirds broke up, he founded Led Zeppelin, which was active from 68 to 1980.
They did all right.
They did okay. Of course, Page is considered to be one of the greatest and most influential guitarists of all time. Rolling Stone magazine described him as the pontiff of power riffing and ranked him as number 3 in their 2015 list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time, behind Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton.
All right.
It's weird. I thought Eric Clapton played bass, but apparently he played guitar.
Only according to Sarah.
That's right. Jimmy was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once as a member of the Yardbirds in 1992 and as a member of Led Zeppelin in 1995.
Look at that.
And rounding out FPBs for January the 9th is singer and legend Joan Baez, who is 85 years old today.
All right.
She has been performing publicly for over 60 years and has released over 30 albums.
Whoa.
Her first 3 albums achieved gold record status. She has displayed a lifelong commitment to political and social activism in the fields of nonviolence, civil rights, and human rights, and the environment. And she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017.
As she should.
Absolutely. There you go. Those are your FPBs for January the 9th. Now it's time for some OTDs. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. It's been a while since you've done the podcast, Pam, and we are still using that jingle.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't we?
I mean, it's legendary.
It's going to be in the Rock and Roll
I think
Hall
I
of Fame
heard, I was
someday.
listening to some podcast episodes yesterday, and I think I heard Sarah say something like it's her favorite song of the whole...
I think she was being kind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sarah's a very kind.
The only other songs are ones that she sings, so
Right.
she felt like
Yes.
that'd be weird.
She's trying to lift
I'd
me up.
choose mine over yours.
Yeah.
So I gotcha. All righty, let's see. 19 years ago in 2007, Steve Jobs unveiled the iPhone. In its first 10 years, Apple sold more than 1.2 billion folks with a B, sold 1.2 billion iPhones worldwide.
That's amazing.
Yes, and we are all hooked now. We can't go back.
My iPhone died, and I had to get a new phone, and I got a deal on a Droid, and there's
You were
there's
like,
no way.
now I know why they were offering this deal.
Yeah, I was like, I need an iPhone again because this thing is just an absolute nightmare. I know there are some people out there that swear by them, but not me.
I think there are some things that Androids might do better than iPhones or Apple, but I am so Apple connected,
Yeah.
iPad, my laptop, my phone. There is no way I would even consider an Android.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I know it would just make my life more difficult. So
Can't do it.
I don't need any of that. 26 years ago, in the year 2000, Malcolm in the Middle premiered on Fox. Really? The year 2000?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And now I think Frankie Muniz drives race cars.
Yes.
For a living. and Bryan Cranston, who played the dad on Malcolm in the Middle, went on to huge success as Walter White in Breaking Bad.
I was going to say he's Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Awesome. 42 years ago in 1984, Van Halen released their 6th album, 1984, which featured Jump, Panama, I'll Wait, and Hot for Teacher.
That was the first cassette I ever owned.
Really?
As a teenager. Yeah. I got a boom box for my birthday, and I got a gift certificate to our local record store, and that was the first cassette I ever purchased with my own money.
Okay, I don't remember what my first cassette was. That's amazing that you remember that.
Yeah, I was just so proud. I remember bringing it up to the counter and plunking down my gift certificate and going home. And of course, it was a cassette, and I just about wore it out.
Yeah. Remember the cassettes when like your boombox would eat it and you were like freaking out and trying to get a pencil and roll it back up. You're like, no.
It's the worst.
67 years ago in 1959, Rawhide premiered on CBS, starring Clint Eastwood and Rowdy Yates, a cowhand on a cattle drive. Never even seen it, heard of it, don't know anything about it.
Great song, though.
Clint Eastwood, though. Great song, Rawhide.
Rawhide, yeah. I only know that because they performed it in the Blues Brothers.
Okay.
When they went into the country bar and they had to sing country songs and they performed Rawhide, and I was like, wow, that's a great song. And then I listened to the original artists, and they were nowhere near as good as Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
They were great. I loved the Blues Brothers.
Such a fantastic movie. Those are your FPBs and OTDs for January the 9th.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Hi, it's Donna Harris from Phoenix No Limits Karate with your daily safety tip. Teach kids to never keep secrets about touching. Tell a parent or teacher. Let's all do our best to keep our community safe.
Now we shift focus to our guest in studio, which is a 12-ounce can of Goodland Extracts Cherry Pie High Soda. It is part of our Ruper's Beverage and Redemption Tasting Tales segment, and we have had Delta 9 sodas from Goodland Extracts before. We've sampled them on this show, and I'm looking forward to this one because they've all been really good.
They all have been really good. Yeah. So are you a fan of cherry pie?
Not necessarily. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. I'm kind of an apple pie kind of guy.
Yeah, cherry pie isn't my favorite either, but I do like cherry-flavored sodas. Yeah. So I'm very excited to try this.
So this one, they describe it on their website. It says, take a sip and get lifted to grandma's windowsill with this nostalgic taste of fresh-baked cherry pie, offering 2 strength options with 4 milligram or 10 milligram of Delta 9 THC. Our Cherry Pie High Soda is crafted in small batches using real Door County cherries. Whole organic vanilla beans, a hint of cinnamon, and a splash of fresh squeezed lemon juice, just like Grandma used to make. It's a delightfully complex, refreshingly memorable, and crave-worthy experience.
All right.
This is a 12-ounce can, and there are 70 calories per serving. And I think a serving is probably 6 ounces, I'm guessing.
Half can, yes.
Yep. So a serving is 6 ounces. That's 70 calories. 15 milligrams of sodium, 17 grams of total carbs, 17 grams of sugar.
So those that are not partaking in alcohol beverages for dry January, this might be a great alternative.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's check it
We're
out.
trying this out?
Yep.
All right.
Pam and I each have our own can.
Yeah.
I'm
going to take like 4 sips, and then I'll save this for 8 p.m. tonight.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. It definitely tastes like pie. I was
does.
expecting way more cherry. Yeah, it's very vanilla pie seasoning forward. Is that what you get?
That's what I get too.
Yeah.
The cherry is not overbearing. It's really smooth on the back end too.
Yeah. It's definitely really good. It just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting more of a tart.
Yep.
And it's more smooth and soft.
And I think that's the big reason why I'm not a huge fan of cherry-flavored drinks or desserts is because of the tartness.
Yep.
But this...
So you're digging it, huh?
I'm digging it. This made a believer out of me.
All right.
All right, Cherry Pie High Soda.
Goodland Extracts, Ruper's. Nicely done.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Once again, they've got it together over there.
They do. They know what they're doing.
Today, Pam, you mentioned dry January.
I did.
Well, today...
It's Quitter's Day.
Is the second Friday of January, which is National Quitters Day. It is the day you are most likely to drop your New Year's resolution.
Well, good thing I didn't make any.
I didn't either. I was like, why bother? It's always the second Friday in January because I think the thinking is that we can only make it one weekend without pizza or drinking. But 2 weekends in a row?
Forget it.
Come on, that's impossible.
Kevin and I were talking about something, and obviously, because I had mentioned, I'm like, hey, do you want to try dry January? Of course, this was like the middle of December. And he's like, sure, whatever. I mean, he's very agreeable most of the time anyway. So, and then, of course, January hits and nothing changes. We had never spoken about it again. And last weekend, I think we were out for lunch or something, and I was just getting over my sickness from last week. I got the crud and I was laid up and not well, and had a couple drinks at lunch. And I was like, well, so much for that dry January. He's like, that doesn't even really start until Monday anyway. It's like the first Monday of January. So everybody has their own, like, when does it really start?
Right.
I guess.
A study in 2024 found that 80% of us start losing steam by Quitter's Day. So that's why it exists. So if your resolution is still going strong, feel free to act all high and mighty about it. A survey done just before Christmas found the top resolutions this year were to exercise more, be happier, eat healthier, and save money. This is interesting too, Pam, because this may go along with some people's resolutions. People are making a conscious effort to live a more analog life in 2026. They want to ditch digital.
Yep, ditch digital.
Yeah.
Pick up a magazine.
A new poll found that half of Americans, interesting that you would say that. A new poll found that half of Americans are trying to disconnect from the digital world whenever they can and live a more analog life. 2,000 people were asked to name the top ways they're trying to live a more analog life in 2026, and here they are. As Pam mentioned, pick up a magazine or an actual book.
Yes.
And read.
Read it.
There's something magical about holding something in your hands.
Yeah, and
reading it.
You remember things that you read more that way. You make a better connection with what you're reading when you're having it tangible and holding it in your hand. Yeah.
And aren't you going to be talking about that next month at the Chamber Breakfast? What's up with that?
I don't know.
Is it a secret?
What have I gotten myself into?
Pam's going to be the keynote speaker at the February breakfast for the Lewiston Auburn Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, and that's happening at the Cora Temple. You excited?
A mixture of excitement and nerves at this point. It'll be definitely the biggest crowd I've ever spoken in front of, so I just wish it wasn't a breakfast. Can it be an after hours?
That's right. Yeah. So other ways people are leading an analog life is by using an actual paper calendar instead of relying on the digitized version. We have one of those huge desk calendars hung up on one of our doors, our like cellar door at our house. And we write on it all the time. I
don't know about that one, but I just know I always have my phone with me.
So easy.
Yeah.
Just to type into your phone and hit enter. And
I mean, sometimes you don't even have to type. You can be like, hey, Siri, can you put this in my calendar? If you're driving or busy or multitasking. I don't know. I just, the convenience of my digital calendar.
I've never used Siri.
Never.
I never talk to my phone.
Wasn't it in here the last time I used Siri? I asked it a question and it said, let me check ChatGPT. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I remember.
No. Siri should not be using ChatGPT, at least not admitting it.
You're better than that, Siri.
God.
Another way people are living a more analog life is, and I know you do this because I've seen you do it, playing physical games instead of games on your computer.
We love playing games. Alex got Operation and Travel Guess Who for Christmas, and he's obsessed. He loves playing Guess Who. And it's funny because as an adult, you're like, you ask the same questions. It's always the same people that it could, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you're kind of like, this is very repetitive. But for an 8-year-old, they love it. And so we play games all the time. Yahtzee is a big one.
How does he like Operation?
Oh, it's hilarious because he'll be like, I got it. And I'm like, yeah, but his nose went off like 3 times. It vibrated. You're not going to grow up to be a surgeon. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that game is interesting because we tried to play it like legitimately and we epically failed. Yeah. Like we could not operate without setting his nose off. And
yeah, that game. And I think, have you ever played the game Perfection?
Yes.
Where you have to put the matching pieces
and
in.
Then it pops
and
all
then
out
the board
if you
explodes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's why our generation has so much anxiety.
Exactly. I'm 100%.
Thank you, Milton Bradley.
Yeah, right.
More ways people are living an analog life in 2026. They're using an actual alarm clock instead of their phones. I can't get on board with that.
No.
It's way too easy just to set your alarm on your phone.
I know. I don't want to put another thing on my nightstand.
Right.
It's just going to be my phone. I haven't, very few times. I can probably count on one hand how many times I've set my alarm since COVID. I stopped using my alarm clock. I just naturally wake up now, although there are some times that I've had to set it for, if I'm traveling or something like that.
Another one is writing letters instead of sending emails.
I would like to get on board with that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Except I don't like my penmanship, but...
When Sarah and I are on the road doing the show and I try to write notes and I'll pass them along to her, just like the guest's name or the title or whatever, she'd
be like, what is it?
Like,
what?
I can't, what are these chicken scratches? I can't read your hieroglyphics. I find that when I try to write something on paper, the first sentence is usually pretty legible and then it just
After
goes
that,
downhill because I'm so used to typing. I just don't have that muscle memory anymore.
Yeah, my hand will cramp if I start writing for too long.
3 sentences and I'm out. How about using an old school planner?
There's a lot of people that still use those for sure. And I've tried. Do you know how many little planner notebooks I have? Probably a half dozen. And there's little notes in each and every one of them, like personal stuff that I needed to take care of. It was, so I had like 3 different notebooks.
When I first met Sarah, well, this is not when I first met Sarah, but when Sarah came on the radio show for the first time. She came on as a guest, and she came in with a backpack. And she opens her backpack, and she takes out like 13 notebooks. Like, she wrote down everything. And I'm like, what are those notebooks for? She goes, I just write down my thoughts and jokes and important things. And she like you, she had a notebook for everything.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it.
Jessica, who is our graphic designer, she had... I don't know if it was an iPad or if it was a specific, like a digital notebook where she would write things down and then the notebook would save it as, like, type it out for her.
Oh.
And I was like, I need one of those because you remember things better when you write it, right? So I'm like, that's a great combination of writing it down so you remember and you can learn things easier, but then it also saves it as a digital file and you don't have to retype it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's great.
How about wearing a watch? Do you wear a watch?
I had an Apple Watch and then I refused to, that's one of the things, like with Apple, the older it gets, like the less it works. Are we talking like an analog watch, a non-smartwatch?
Yeah, not a smartwatch. They call it a dumb watch.
Dumb watch. This idiot watch.
Yeah, when I first got into comedy, I wore a watch only on stage because in comedy you have a certain amount of time that you can be on stage.
Right.
Being new, I never wanted to go over my time and get that reputation as, this guy takes too much time.
Right.
He runs the light. Don't book him, whatever. So yeah, I had a couple of comedian friends that could set their alarm. And when it went off, it would be silent, but it would vibrate on their wrist. So then they'd know how to wrap it up and get off stage. I didn't have that one. I would look at it, glance at it every now and again. But I had 2 jokes where I actually
used
jokes included me looking at my watch, and that was intentional.
Right.
Because I'd kind of plan it out at the end of my set. And so that worked out. It didn't look as awkward. But still.
I was going to say, because sometimes I remember having my watch and it was always on silent, but it would vibrate when I would get a text message or the phone would ring. And, sitting there in a meeting or talking with someone and whatever, and it's just automatic when it vibrates, you look.
Yeah.
You look like you're not engaged. You look like you're
like, come on, you're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, you
soon.
look like, what time is it? I need to go. Like, I'm ready for this to end. I didn't like that part either. But yeah, I haven't worn my watch in a long time. I did get an Oura ring.
What's that?
So it tracks kind of your activity, and it's actually pretty kind of creepy. When I started getting sick, I went to bed when I first started feeling like I felt like I was just tired, and I'm like, I'm going to bed, and it was like 6:30 at night, and of course I'm like, I didn't think anything of it. And then the next day I was like, oh. But then I opened my Oura Ring app, and it had like this big orange, like, your body is experiencing something, like it's something is stressing your body out. You need to take it easy, like get lots of rest and da 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 da. So, and like temperature and your heart rate and things like that.
Wow.
It's pretty neat. But mostly I got it to track my sleep. I wanted to see, how well or not well I was sleeping, to kind of focus a little bit more on that. So.
Another way folks are getting into an analog 2026 is something we talked about a few minutes ago. Analog music, like listening to records and cassettes and CDs. Vinyl, I think, is probably more popular than all of the other analog.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say that's the best analog, because I feel like a CD and a cassette could really sound exactly like your streaming music, but a record will never. You can always tell.
Get the little crackles.
Yeah.
There. They're satisfying.
Yeah, I agree.
And the last way folks are embracing an analog 2026 is by using actual cameras instead of their phones.
Ooh. That's scary.
That is scary. Especially if they're film cameras.
Right. You take all those pictures and then you develop it and you get back crap and you're like, shoot, I got to go back and do that all over again.
Remember when we had to take our film to the drugstore?
Yes.
And they claimed it was an hour and it was more like 3 hours just to keep you at the mall a little longer. I have an iPhone, but it's an old iPhone, and the camera's not that great on it. You know, if you've ever seen the photos we take here at the podcast, it's not that great.
You should keep the office phone in here, I guess.
Yeah, we could do that. Take some better photos. But and then I have, obviously, my big Canon that I use to shoot whatever, and I'd much rather use that.
Yeah.
But as far as film goes, I would be happy to be done with film forever. I went to school for photography, and we used to shoot black and white and develop our film in the dark room. And those are good times, and it's a great skill to have, but it's a skill that nobody needs anymore.
Right.
At all.
No, Photoshop.
I got really good at it, and then I graduated, and it's like, oh, digital photography is a thing now. And our dark room is now on our computer.
Obsolete.
Okay, that was great. That was money well spent. Love it.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone about that. I'm like, when I was in college and went through the graphics program and all of that, right after I graduated, InDesign Adobe took over. Yeah. Right? I learned everything in Quark Express.
Yep.
And same thing, like developing plates for the printers and things like that was all kind of manual. There was nothing kind of digital about it.
Yeah. You had to typeset everything.
Yeah.
Yep. I worked in that industry too. And now, so much easier.
Yes.
I'll never go back. So there you go, folks. If you want to live a more analog life in 2026, there are some tips for you. And don't forget, it is National Quitters Day. So if you're going to go out and throw your diet in the crapper and have some drinks, you're not alone, because a lot of people out there are going to be quitting with you as well. You'll have plenty of company.
We're here to make you feel better.
That's right. We're here for you.
Dirigo Federal Credit Union is proud to call Lewiston Auburn home. Whether you're buying a house, saving for the future, or growing your business, we're here for you, right where you live. Visit dirigofcu.com and feel the difference of a credit union that truly knows LA.
I do want to remind you that the Chamber Breakfast that we spoke about earlier is going to be on February 12th at the Cora Shrine Center. It is titled The Evolution of Local Media and What It Means for Your Business, and our very own Pam will be presenting. Attendees will leave with a clearer understanding of how local media has evolved and why it matters now more than ever. They'll have insight into how storytelling builds credibility and trust and brand recognition, ideas for leveraging multiple media platforms together for stronger, more effective marketing, and practical takeaways for engaging audiences through authentic, community-driven content. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
So 2 thumbs up for Goodland's Extracts Cherry Pie High Soda.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, as Sarah would say. Visit your local Roopers and pick up some Goodland Extracts Cherry Pie High Soda. Tell them the Lunch Bunch sent you, and you won't regret it, because this is good stuff.
It is. I think you can buy them in singles, so go try a variety of the Goodland Extracts from Roopers. I don't think you'll be disappointed. They're delish.
They've got it together.
They
know
do.
their stuff over
They
at
know what they're
Goodland's.
doing.
That's right. Thanks to Ruper's Beverage and Redemption for sponsoring today's episode. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Have a great weekend.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your